Hey there, guys, it's METAGAMESGX here, and this is going to be a commentary on me versus Yummy, once again on Branded Dracotail. This one turned out a little bit better than the last gameplay, so let's get right into it. If you guys want to learn more about the new format and the new best Dracotail variant, this is the video for you. I'm going to go play by play, step by step, and also leave a like down below if you guys want to see more gameplays like this. You guys hit the goal last time, so we're doing it again. Let's get right into it. All right, so I'm going to be going second here, and this is going to be once again against Yummy. I'm playtesting against my friend TJ. He ends up opening up Molcharmy Fubulos, Lollipopo Yummy, Salzban, Molcharmy Perilia, and then Paw Prosperity. I open up Blazing Cartesia, Branded Retribution, Branded Opening, Spriggan's Kit, and then Fusion Deployment. So I'm playing Branded Dracotail. My friend is also just playing pure Yummy at the moment. So yeah, he opens up the Paw Prosperity for 3, which was interesting. He ends up milling Obedience School, Dominus Purge, and Ghost Spell. So I think that's going to be an easiest. Oh, he takes the Dominus Purge. Well, fair enough. I might have taken the. I guess he has the full Yummy combo anyway, so he doesn't really need to take the Yummy name. But he doesn't really care about getting Ash because I'm on 60 cards, right? Like he could go Salzban, call Ash or something here, but he's just calling me on my shit. He does normal summon the Lollipopo Yummy since he has nothing else, and he's going to link it off for the Yummy Snatchy, so then he is going to be able to place one Yummy Field spell from his deck. This card's broken, also allows quick effect once per chain up to 3 times to synchro summon. So it's really good. And then Mamaset Minion, this is also a great recurrent in the graveyard. And then also, this is going to be the thing that buffs up all of your Yummy monsters for OTK. And then you can also just recur a monster. So it's really good extension. So he's going to go Field Spell, special summon out the Lollipopo Yummy. And then he's going to link off, or sorry, he's going to synchro off because the Snatchy counts obviously as a tuner synchro or tuner level 1. And then he goes out to the Cupsy Yummy Way, which on synchro summon is going to search out 2 Yummy cards and then discard 1, or is it place 1? Yeah, it's discard. So he discards the Fubulos. That's pretty dead at this point. And then he's going to just special summon out the Cupsy Yummy and then reveal the Yummy Surprise and go out to the Cookie Yummy. I don't know why he revealed that. And then he's just going to special summon the Cookie Yummy. And then link off, I believe, here. No, he's going to synchro off from Marshall Metal Marcher. This is just like basically the Splash Mage of the deck. To special spec out the Yummy Way, and then he's going to synchro off, yes, for a Herald of the Arclight, because that's a level 4. This card or this deck is basically making a couple Heralds, basically one on their turn and one on your turn, and then pairing that with a bunch of interruption and a ton of recurrence, and then hand traps as well, or board breakers that are typically quick play. So that's just kind of what this deck does. And then he links off for the Yummy Snatchy. Once again, this is why this deck runs 3 of them. They have to go through almost like 3 of them every single game. And then Yummy Surprise gets activated, the quick effect to special summon. And he's going to summon the Yummy Way because this is also a quick effect on my turn, on your opponent's turn, to return this card in special 2 Yummy monsters from your graveyard. And he does have the Cookie, which is a pop, and then also the Lollipopo, which is a DD Crow. So he has a lot of interruption and another Arclight in the tank. So I'm going to have to draw something good here. And I do draw the Molcharmy Fubulos, which is an incredible top deck against Yummy, in my opinion, because they have to synchro or they have to link summon a bunch basically and synchro summon on your turn. So the Fubulos and summon from deck. So like Fubulos is going to just do a lot. It's gonna keep you in the game. And this hand probably isn't breaking this board, right? This is a great going first hand for the most part for Branded, but nowadays this probably isn't getting you most places. But you know, of course, I do draw the Fubulos, so it's a good top deck. I Fubulos right there, which, you know, some people might be like, oh, you wish you drew that earlier, but I'm not. I feel like it's a better top deck against this deck than anything. And then I'll go Fusion Deployment, which begs the question. I'll go into Fallen of Albaz here. Because I want to just force the Herald of Arclight. I just figured because it's not going to floodgate me, it's an Omni Negate, and it's a floodgate too a little bit by banishing any main deck or monsters sent to the graveyard. So I have to be careful about what I'm discarding off of the Fallen of Albaz. I want to, you know, I think Retribution is always one of the best discards in Branded, so that's what we're doing right there. He does use the Herald of the Arclight here and then destroys that. And here I'm just going to be able to go into the Cartesia special summon since I do have an Albaz in the graveyard. And I'm just kind of having to force interruption because at this point I don't have a whole lot, but he doesn't either. But now he has to use the Cups of Yummy to tag to special summon out another Yummy Snatchy and then a Cups of Yummy, which is going to give him a draw on the new chain. So he's going to get his draw, and that doesn't draw him anything relevant. And then he'll go Snatchy here to Synchro Summon. So I'm going to be able to get a draw off the Fulos. He goes into another Yummy Way. And then I'm going to get the draw, which is a Bestial Lubellion, that's actually a lot of recursion right there, so I'm very happy. Or I mean, a lot of extension right there, so I'm very happy about that. And then he summons out the Yummy Snatchy and the Cupsy off the and then I go off, then I activate the Bestial Lubellion to get the Bestial Sarnier. He's gonna use the Snatchy again, which is crazy. And then also the Lollipopo. You know, none of these effects are basically once per turn. It's crazy. And then he's going to Synchro Summon into another Cupsy. And I'm going to then draw Triple Tactics Thrust, which is just great. It feels like I'm hitting the arcade machine right now. I just keep hitting with the Whack-A-Mole, basically. And he summons out the Yummy Snatchy. Then I search out the Sarnier finally off the Lubellion. And he summons out the Lollipopo Yummy, at least... and which is the DD Crow, of course, so he's going to also be able to use Snatchy's effect to place a field spell as well on special summon, which is the Akroc. This card's also a board breaker a bit, and it reacts if a face-up monster you control leaves the field by opponent's card effect. You can special summon one Yummy from your deck, so that's not bad. And then he's going to be able, then he banishes the Retribution off of the Lollipopo. You know, I didn't have anything else to chain, so I guess that was a little bit of a neg. Maybe I could have, like, you know, went Branded Opening, gotten that in the graveyard, then chained, but I don't know. I go the Triple Tactics Thrust, and that is going to get me immediately into something like either a Branded... I was probably just going to go for a Branded Fusion there, but he does Dominus Purge that, so that's a fair use of it. But I do have the Branded Opening here, so I'm going to just be able to do it. And he's going to change the Snatchy here because he does have enough bodies to get into the Herald of the Arclight, which is pretty good. Or he doesn't even choose to do that. Yeah, he goes into the Cookie Yummy, and I do draw the Droplet, which is very good, off of just Synchro Summon off the Snatchy. And I think he has one more Synchro Summon left off of Snatchy if he chooses to. I do go out to the Aluber since I have the Cartesia, so I can dodge any Veilers or anything, which he does not have, so he just chains the Yummy Cupsy. I discard the Sarnier as well. I had to do that off the Branded Opening, so I kind of forgot that. And then I think I should be chaining Sarnier, but I think I forget to, so that was a misplay. And then he is able to... And then here he triggers the Cookie Yummy to pop my Cartesia, and then I just chain the Cartesia, and he doesn't have anything, obviously. So then I go... then he's able to still summon out the Yummy Way. There's so much going on with Yummy. It's, like, crazy. And then I'm able to go out to the Grand Guignol off the Cartesia with the Aluber, which doesn't trigger because he summoned the monsters off of the Yummy way before my Grand Guignol hit the board. So a lot of the time, if you chain a Cartesia to a special summon, you will be able to chain the Grand Guignol and chain block its own send effect. But the thing is, against Yummy, I just wasn't able to do that here. Maybe I could have played that a little bit better. But so I go out to the Grand Guignol. Sadly, my Cartesia was not on the field when she fused. Before these monsters came out off the Cupsy Synchro effect to summon them out, because I could chain the Grand Guignol to basically just chain block its own effect to send a level 6 or higher light or dark monster from the deck or extra deck to the graveyard, which is a great way to extend or just set up follow-up through hand traps with Branded. Because also, you know, obviously chain blocking your Grand Guignol is always very important in Branded, but you could use its second effect to then get a Quem or then a Quertus because they activated a monster effect that special summon a monster. So that's just like one of those things going second, especially in that situation, that could be done. I think I was in a trickier situation, so it probably couldn't have been played better, but maybe I could have. And then Grand Guignol will trigger, and then he is able to trigger the Cookie, which is, I'm going to trigger the Branded Opening to prevent the destruction, which is, like, fine. Also, I have to send the Branded Opening from the... I'm going to send the Branded High Spirits from the deck also for the Sarnier that I forgot, and then I'm going to send the Titanclad to the graveyard off the Grand Guignol, which gives me a Fallen of Albaz fuse in the end phase, or at least... you know, a Quem to extend and, like, put up a board state, and then I'm going to He's going to chain the Yummy Snatchy for the final time to Synchro Summon into the Shy Message Samsara Saracat, which is basically just a once per chain during your opponent's main phase. You can immediately, after this effect, Synchro Summon using this card you control and then or cards you control. So he has a line to another Herald of the Arclight. He does go into the Akraki effect, though, to pop the Grand Guignol. Yeah, because this card's actually just a board breaker. If you Synchro Summon a light monster, you can just target one and pop one. So yeah, I really like how this deck Yummy like cycles field spells. So you really do have to be conscious of like what field spell is on in rotation and like the effects that have been used that are once per turn, like the draw, the pop, and then the DD Crow, and then the Grand Guignol going to graveyard is just fine. He's going to go into the Samsara effect though to get into the Herald of the Arclight. I'm going to draw the Branded Banishment, but before I drew the Rahu Dracotail, which just puts me in such a devastating position because I have so many pushes. He has to have like an Ash Blossom plus like something else, like a Nib or something to even challenge this kind of hand. I think I still have too much for that. And so I go Rahu Dracotail and he just scoops there because I don't know. Obviously he has to go Herald there. I mean, I don't know why he scooped there because he could have just like chained the Herald, but like I obviously can go Altharion and Beta, and then I have 4 cards left in hand. So we're gonna go into game 2 here. Long game 1, but we broke that Yummy board, folks, with a pretty big just engine hand, right? Like we drew Fulos for turn, which usually isn't ideal, but I showed you that it is. For turn, I'm going to draw Branded Retribution, Lubellion, Phimina, Nadir Servant, and Spriggan's Kit. So as you guys saw, I missided. This Nadir Servant should not be in here, but I mean, even then, this hand wasn't great to begin with. If this was a Triple Tactics Thrust, though, I think I'd be in a lot better position. He draws Lollipopo, Droll, Ghost Bell, Yummy, and Nibiru. So he's going to start with the normal summon of Lollipopo because he doesn't quite have like the Cupsy, and then link off for the Snatchy. He's going to do just full Yummy combo, going to the field spell, going to the Cupsy, search the Cupsy, search the Cookie, and then discard the Nib, which is interesting. And then that tells me he has a really strong hand, honestly, because he has to have a lot of other hand traps to do that. And then he goes out to Cupsy, searches this surprise off of it, and then special summons out the other Yummy in his hand to then link or synchro off for the Martial Metal Marcher to then synchro summon into the Herald of the Arclight by special summoning, and he just skips some steps. He special summons out the Lollipopo just to link off to another Snatchy, and then ends on the Herald of the Arclight plus Cupsy plus Droll and Ghost Bell. And if you know anything about Branded, Droll is incredible going second against them. So with this kind of hand, I think I do get cooked to Droll, but it depends on my draw. I do get the Shrouded Dragon, which isn't bad. And for some reason, I start Shrouded Dragon. I could have started Lubellion, but I figure, like, if I get Drolled, I'd rather get the random draw with this kind of hand because it's so weak. I send the Branded Opening since I already have the Retribution in hand, and I still have a clear line to the Branded Fusion with Kit. I do draw the Raigeki, though, which is kind of interesting. That's kind of good. And I do go Raigeki here to just bait the Herald of the Arclight. At the very least, so I felt pretty good as long as I don't get drolled. So I go Lubellion here, which is probably a misplay. I should have went Spriggan's Kit to play around droll. To be honest, like obviously I'm just like trying to bait like hand traps, but if he knows I'm on Branded, he isn't gonna like Ash Lubellion. So I should have went Kit effect there. Because he obviously he would have to have a negate, and he doesn't here. I mean, he has a Ghost Bell, which I don't know, but if this was a Luber, I think that would have been definitely a misplay. And then I search the Saronir. He then chains the Cupsy Yummy, and he isn't even gonna chain Droll here because of the fact that he wants to draw as well. I'm going to go Saronir effect, and then I'm going to banish the Cookie because he has no other cookies in graveyard. That's typically the best Bestial target against the Yummy deck that I've found is like if they only have one name in graveyard, so you get it out of rotation, and I think Cookie is the most devastating one. It's just straight up removal. But he is going to chain the Yummy Surprise to special summon it, so that's fine. This is me kind of baiting it. I think I could have done this a little differently too. Maybe I could have just targeted one, like the Lollipopo, and then got into Lubellion, but like it really wouldn't have mattered considering the fact he has Ghost Bell. And then he goes into the Yummy Snatchy to go into the Lollipopo. He's going to use Lollipopo effect to bring out the Snatchy and the Lollipopo from grave. And then I go normal summon Spriggan's Kit to then finally play around Droll. And then he just Ghost Bells me, which is crazy. And I scoop there because I just don't really have too much from there. I could have gone Nadir, but he has like way too much access. And also Herald of the Arclight kind of cooks that So for game 3, I draw Cartesia Droplet, Fusion Duplication, Despian Tragedy, and Rahu Dracotail. So a very strong hand because Fusion Duplication means I get to resolve Branded Fusion twice. I have a clear way to Branded Fusion through Imperm, and then I also just have a free Rahu Dracotail combo. He draws the Lollipopo, Meowls, Ash Blossom, 1-for-1, and Cupsy. I don't know why you would keep in Meowls against my deck, to be honest. I guess it's okay, but like overall, it's like only gonna probably get you like 1 or 2 draws at most. So I'm going to then go into the Rahu Dracotail, and he is going to let that through actually somehow, even though he has Ash. I guess he's gonna save it for the Branded Fusion. I'm going to send the Tragedy there and the Phimina, which is just so broken. This is why I still keep the Tragedy in my Dracotail branded list, because it's like the best thing to send off a Rahu, right? You just get like a crazy amount of advantage, and it stays in there for follow-up next turn. I love it. So I go Rahu Dracotail into the Altharion, of course, and then I'm going to trigger the Altharion to get the Phimina from graveyard, and then I'm going to trigger the Phimina, and then the Despian Tragedy to get an Aluber, which is just such a crazy line. I set the Dracotail Flame here. In this version, I am running Grimmels, but I used the Rahu already. I don't want to use my normal on like Muller or something, so at this point, I maybe could have played this a little different. I mean, I do have like Cartesia effect to fuse off the Phimina, but I already used its effect, so it doesn't matter. I'll just get the Phimina back in hand for further interruption, and also I can play around. Oh no, I did this because this plays around Imperm. So if I go normal summon a Aluber and he Imperms this, I get to go chain Phimina, right? So I go Aluber, he doesn't have an Imperm or a Veiler. I search out the Branded Fusion. I could have went for Branded High Spirits. I don't think that was the play though, for sure. And then I go Branded Fusion. He goes Ash Blossom, and that's fine. I just set the Fusion Duplication and the Triple Tactics Thrust. And then I'm also gonna just go Phimina effect. I should have done that after, but I'm gonna show you guys why Phimina is so crazy and branded. My friend TJ was like stunned when I did this. So I go Phimina effect. He's like, "What are you fusing into?" And then I I send Cartesia Aluber, and I go into the Grand Guignol. I sent it to graveyard on accident, but that should be on field, and that's why Phimina, it can make a dragon or spellcaster, and that's why I run double Guignol in Dracotail brand, especially. I think locking is really important in this format, unfortunately. And then also Grand Guignol is just a crazy summon off of Phimina, so in a pinch to dodge Imperm. So I go Grand Guignol effect, and then I'm going to just send the Albion there, and I'm going to go into the end phase and just full combo, right? I've branded in red off the Albion the Branded Dragon. I have, you know, clear targets for the Branded in red. If I ran Guardian Chimera, that would be better, but I don't in this version, but it's like largely fine. And then I also have obviously Fusion Duplication, which gets me a Branded Fusion and a Dracotail Flame, which plays around like a called by, which is why I love the Dracotail engine in Brandon. This is why I don't cut Dracotail Flame from the main deck. Because I think it's like actually just a better Blazing Branded King for your deck. You get to negate a called by a droplet, and you get to draw a card. It's so crazy. And then I go Cartesia to get discard, so I can actually like do whatever I want with the Fusion Duplication. But he does draw Fulos for turn, plus Meowl, so that's a lot of draws. So he's going to use both of them. I'm like, okay. I mean, he has 3 cards in hand. Maybe he should have waited on the Meowls, but I guess he had to use it now. And plus, like, I guess, I mean, I don't really have anything that's gonna fuse from graveyard, so I just don't think Meowls is a good side against Branded. He goes normal summon Cupsy Yummy, and then he's gonna go Cupsy Yummy's effect. I'm going to just droplet that, just because this is their best, like, 1-card starter, and this puts the Grand Guignol in the graveyard, obviously to get called by it or Bestialed, but also just plays around, like, an Imperm. I don't know, he would have Impermed that before anyways, but, and then you get links off for the Yummy Snatchy. I was thinking here I could have went Fusion Duplication, just like locked from there. I probably should have done that, or just like removed the Cupsy. But for some reason I let him do that. And then I just go Fusion Duplication and target the Branded Fusion. And then he's going to be able to, well, I mean, then again, that's the thing. I'm under Fuolo, so like I don't want to give him like infinite draws here. So like I still, and like I could have chained to the Fuolos, but like I don't think that was like the play either. I just like play into more like interruptions that way. And so I send the Ido and the Albaz. I'm going to have to give him like 2 draws to make the Lubellion, and then Lubellion effect to just discard the Cartesia. He's going to draw another Fulos. And then I'm going to fuse back the Albaz plus Quem into the Sanctifier, and then Sanctifier effect is going to be able to target the Ido, and he draws a Salzbound off of the Sanctifier Summon, and I also have an Aluber on board, so I'm just going to target that for another follow-up. And I get the Aluber to search the Branded in white. I didn't really have anything else to search. I could have got, I already have Branded in red, and, you know, Branded Fusion's already banished. I guess I could have gotten Retribution. That might have been a better one for a discard. And then he goes Triple Tactics Talents to draw 2, and I Dracotail Flame that so I can draw 1 and negate that, because if he gets like anything to just play through my board, or, you know, like a Droplet or something, I don't want that. And then I draw the Branded opening, and that was it, guys. So yeah, that was another replay against Yummy. This time I did a lot better. Once again, shout out to my man TJ for testing with me. He's a very good sport, very good duelist. And he's a very good pilot of he's a pretty good pilot of Yummy. He's a way better pilot of like K9 Christian, but he does his best with Yummy, and it's a very tough deck, so I think it provides pretty good gameplay for you guys to show that, you know, Dracotail Branded's incredible. Like, I can't believe this deck, honestly. It's the most fun I've had with Branded in a while. It's Altherion's 100% custom. Most of your monsters are dragons and spellcasters anyways, so I don't think you have to run anything too crazy with Dracotail Branded. I'm going to show the list off in my next video when I release the guide on it, so guys, please leave a like if you want to see that. That's going to be out either Saturday or Sunday. Appreciate you guys. Leave a like down below. Let me know what you guys thought of the gameplay, what your favorite part was. Check out my website for my Branded spreadsheet and also some Branded merch and my Branded playmat. And then also subscribe today. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. I very much do appreciate every single one of you. I read all the comments. Seriously, you guys make me feel very lucky to have this channel, and, you know, thank you all. So 100% love you guys. Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye now.